Hey, once again, it's me. I'm coming to you with episode 2 of Uncoded, and today I have special guests with me. How you feeling today, Jordan?
Feeling grown, feeling sexy.
I know that's right.
Yes, ma'am.
So Jordan, beside Jordan, we got
Miss Taylor, hey, how y'all doing?
yes, and I'm so excited to have you guys on today's episode. First and foremost, I want to say both of my homegirls is from Clarksdale, Mississippi. We got Clarksdale in the building once again. And I feel like that was so important to say because Clarksdale is such a small and unique environment. And I mean, I'm sure y'all understand what I mean when I say that, but it's a very unique experience coming from the Delta, trying to find your own place in a world that feels like it's so foreign to you. So what was it like for you guys deciding to go to college, and then how did you decide, what route you wanted to take as far as business was concerned?
Well, I graduated from Mississippi Valley State University with a bachelor's in social work.
HBCU.
And currently right now, I'm not using my degree, but I am doing hair. And kind of how I decided, I came to the decision to make that my route is, you kind of just have to be able to work in every kind of field, whether it's entrepreneurship or 9 to 5 or whatever the case may be. And I just kind of found out that the working the entrepreneur right now is working for me. So doing hair is the best route for me right now.
Okay.
All right, and it's a little different for me. I went down to the University of Southern Mississippi, down there in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, 5 hours away. We're not going to talk about it. The only reason I chose that school because I wanted to do marine biology.
Yeah.
Then realized I don't like fish, and sharks like to bite people. So probably around my sophomore year of college, I changed my major to liberal studies with a concentration in science and technology, media production, and business with a minor in social media content.
Yeah.
Whew, and I'm going to get my master's this fall, and I'm going to do MBA, so master's in business.
Yeah, I know that's right. Masters. And I think honestly, it's kind of my journey is kind of similar to what both of y'all said because right now I don't feel like I put my degree to use. I went to the University of Mississippi and I studied political science, but I do see how having that in my toolbox, I see how that benefits me in one way or another. So, in particular, I studied political science, and at first I was working in policy and advocacy, and I realized that environment was one that was very uncomfortable for me. I think that how I'm used to conducting myself, the level of love that I'm used to showing and the level of authenticity that I'm used to communicating myself with is something that just wouldn't translate well in politics. So that's why I decided at some point I'm going to have to give media and journalism a try. And I think that, Uncoded TV is really like me putting a strong emphasis on doing that. Yeah. So, I don't take it lightly that you girls are here with me doing that and decided to be a part of my podcast. So I really appreciate y'all once again for showing up.
Be here.
Yes, girl. So today I had a few topics in mind that I wanted to talk about. And the first one is about being a Black woman and being active on social media and everything that comes with that. Now, I did give y'all a list of questions that I said we may discuss, and I'm excited to not do a lot of those questions just because I want something that's a little more, authentic. That's just to get y'all minds into the mindset of what are we about to do here.
But even with that question, I can speak on that. Because as going to college, I even started my YouTube channel because I did not see Black and brown people documenting their journey coming from a small, high poverty, high crime area, going out to college. And for me, I was the one that's going the furthest out of all of my siblings. So for me, it was just like, I'm going to put myself out there. I want to show that real, like you said, authentic and be very transparent with some of the struggles. Like, yes, I can post all the things like the organizations I've joined and all this stuff, but I want to show y'all, like, hey, y'all, I miss home right now. And that's really, really weird. Like, who want to say they truly miss Clarksdale when all our lives we are programmed to get out of Clarksdale.
Right. Yeah, and that's something to reckon with because it feels like, bro, I miss home. But if I go home, there's nothing there.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
So in a way, what we doing now is creating that thing that's going to be here whenever it's time to come back. So, like, do you think that you had to deal with something similar?
I would say I just kind of try to learn from wherever I'm at. So by being, like how she said, we're programmed to train ourselves to think that we have to get away from here or we have to, eventually leave away from here. But a lot of people leave away from here and they come back and they're able to give back. Or it's a lot of people who don't leave here or they're able to create flourishing businesses and actually be successful here. So I just kind of feel like it's kind of like depending on wherever you at in your life right now, where you need to be, because when I left here, I feel like I wouldn't be the person I am right now here if I didn't leave. And 100%. When I get ready to leave here, I wouldn't be that person when I'm able, wherever I'm going to be there successful if I wouldn't came back home. Right. So even though we might not like it because, I don't like being here now, but it's still beneficial. Like, it's still teaching me how to grow my business, grow my clientele, communicate better, how to deal with different kind of people and everything like that. And it's kind of like if you can survive here in Clarksdale, you really can apply those same skills anywhere because it's nothing here. So if you can make something out of nothing, just imagine what you can do with opportunity.
Right. And I think that's like you hit the nail on the head with that because something that I see so unique about Clarksdale is that although it's a small area as far as population is concerned, people who actually put forth that effort to achieve something, they usually end up being dominant in their field. Yeah. Like
it's the discipline.
If you get out of here, you really a big dog.
That's what I'm saying. It's to take so many talented people here, but if you can translate your talent into discipline and focus and actually to where it's beneficial in other places and expand it, it's amazing. And it's a lot of people here that can't do that, so that's why they never leave here. Right. But if you can, like you said, it works well for most people that do be able to discipline themselves and work away from it.
And you said it right, discipline and focus. I think those are very underrated tools as far as grooming a child is concerned because a lot of times discipline and focus, you don't learn that inside the classroom. You learn that from the things that you actually like doing and having the opportunity to focus your energy on something that you like doing. That is what's going to show you, hey, I'm actually pretty good at something.
And what am I willing to sacrifice for?
Yeah.
What I'm willing to go through for. What I'm willing to sacrifice for.
Right. So, like, as far as you guys deciding to transition into doing hair and transitioning into doing content, those are things that are extra to all of the other responsibilities that you may have had at the time. So what do you do, or what brought you into the frame of mind to decide, hey, it's time to get disciplined and consistent about doing this if I want it to happen?
I could be honest and say I still have to work at certain things or like still being disciplined and focused on certain things. Because you catch me Monday through Friday, I'm about business. On the weekend, we outside. So I still have to work on, like, still choosing that, like, okay, sometimes it's okay to put more focus on what you actually do. Right. What's going to actually benefit you more in the long run than doing it. So,
yeah.
It's not really hard, just a mind thing, maybe.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, definitely time management because I do have a regular 9 to 6 job. Amen. Yeah.
Overtime.
Very complex. So for me, it's just like I have always wanted to do YouTube. I also like and love media. It's a difference. Love media. I love how it can control a lot of perspectives depending on how you seeing it, where you seeing it, who's saying it.
What part of you seeing?
All right.
Definitely clickbait.
So it's like I know a lot of us, we on our Snapchat, we recording all these videos. Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube videos. Yeah. Everybody got like at least 10 videos in their phone that say something like that.
Yeah.
For me, it was just like, I'm tired of just faking it. Like, let's do this for real. And if I fail, then I fail. Right. And if I do it right, then hey, look, I just created something that can't be reduplicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think to the same extent, like for me, I love media. Like I love writing. I ain't gonna say I love media. I love writing.
Whoa. All right.
And I just so happened to have gotten a few opportunities to work in media that worked out in my favor, and it showed me, that this is a lane that let me learn something, because clearly there's something there, and I end up growing to like it, growing to love it. But had I not taken a risk and trying something that I never did before, I probably never would have, gotten to the point of being able to say, that I got my own podcast.
Nice. And no matter what your dream is, like, the risk is always going to be scary. But you kind of have to have that battle is, will I like to stay where I'm at right now and be complacent, or will I like to take that chance and possibly get everything I ever wanted out of life?
And learn as you grow. Be willing to learn as you grow.
Exactly. And it's like, if I don't do it, nobody is about to do it for me, with me, and nobody is actually going to do it like me. So,
And even if you did, it's like you would have to listen to someone else if you gave them the control.
living out your dream, why would I do that?
I would rather do it my way.
I would rather do it my way, even though, that it is a big old sacrifice that comes with being a person to say that. And especially being a woman, like, it's so not... It's not easy at all deciding to step out and stand on business for real, because I know in my day-to-day life, like, I would be so happy to just wake up, say my prayers, clean up my house, cook, put on a cute outfit, and that be it. Like,
Never that simple.
But it's never that simple. And honestly, I feel like even more than that, when you get coming from where we from, when you get opportunities, when you see that you have something to value, it's almost instinctual to take advantage of that, because if you don't, it's like you never know when your next opportunity is going to come. And if you don't take a hold of what you're doing, you're going to be steered in one direction or the next. So it's like, shoot, do I want to be useful to myself, or do I want somebody else to use me?
That's what that discipline and focus comes in.
Exactly. So, yeah, glad we got to talk about that. So, for our next part of this, we're going to talk about actual, like, content and social media. So, what was y'all first, like, social media account?
Oh, geez.
Was it Kick? Would you consider Kick social media?
I would you socializing.
You're socializing and sharing
I think
media.
mine was Bebo. I think I tried to be grown a little bit. I had older cousins that I used to have go on the page with the little songs and stuff. I wanted to be like them.
Yeah.
So I think I had one of them.
I've never ever even seen how Bebo looks.
Oh, girl, you missed the time. You missed the time.
The purple butterflies.
You could bling out, had
Yeah.
a pink and black hearts all over everything, girl.
Yeah,
with a little Soulja Boy in the background.
I think I got in trouble in my next little social media account on Facebook. We didn't even make it past the rest of them.
Man, listen.
I think Facebook was. I don't even count Facebook because I had it for like 3 months, and I did something on there, and I got it taken for like years.
But okay, so our generation was one of the first generations to have social media at a very, very young age. And so how do y'all feel like social media in general influenced your own perspective on yourself, really? How did social media influence how you looked at yourself? And I'll say for me, social media made me realize I'm lame, and and I like it like that. I'm okay with that. Those listen,
Maybe lame compared to what other people consider to be popular.
Listen, and yes,
because I was just about to say
Thank
that
you.
because
That matters.
what you may consider lame is not really lame.
Oh no, I have fun. I love myself. The things that I like to do, the world that I create for myself, I have always loved it. But I've always also
social media overhyped.
It made me aware that there were a lot of different things going on. And that, there were things that the crowd might flock to, and I just wasn't interested in. So I never felt like that was a problem, but I did become aware of it because of social media. And I think that made me realize how different my upbringing was from a lot of people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think early on I knew that my upbringing was going to be different. Just the setting I'm in, the environment, Clarksdale, Mississippi, even my family dynamic was going to be totally different. So I think I had it already out there. For me, for social media, it kind of made me connected. I was always looking at something, whether that be how to edit this, how to make graphics, how to build a web page, what to do with my natural hair. Like, something simple as that. So for me, it was connection.
So social media raised you a little bit.
Of course, like the only reason I have long hair now under these braids, is because a couple of YouTubers, natural hair YouTubers growing up.
Shout them out. Who's some of your favorite? You like Marion Hampton?
Never heard of it.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Because she was one of the first that I discovered too. Like she was, so I get it.
I know I saw like Dr. Dre, because she showed her hair from being, cut, TWI, but she's actually a doctor, and she was selling like how different formulas and different chemicals help your hair grow and all that stuff. So I'm just like, oh, so you telling me if I mix all this together, I can grow 10 inches overnight? Let's do it.
Literally.
Let's go.
I think kind of for me, social media, compared to how it is today, back then, we kind of just used it as a way to communicate with each other, or like how to talk, to talk to each other or post pictures and stuff now, versus how they use it today. People, it's kind of like you hear a lot about the stuff before you even make it to the news. You see it on Facebook, or you see certain allegations or certain posts about it before you actually hear the truth. So it's kind of like, it's way at a bigger platform than what we was using it before back then. Because most people just using it for family time, family pictures,
right.
to talk, communicate on a smaller scale. Versus now, you can actually make money. Like people actually dedicate time to getting up, posting on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Like social media wasn't that big back then for everybody versus how it is now. People just sit on Facebook and copy and paste posts so they can monetize off of it. Now, we wasn't raised to look at it like that.
Exactly.
We was just on there to be on there, basically.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think people feel like they could do that. I feel like a lot of people feel like they was living simple lives. And then you like, wait a minute, you made how much money off doing what?
Yeah.
Like, I got 2 cameras in the back. Actually, let's go do that.
Yeah. And honestly, sometimes it honestly feels like you have to jump on those type of trends when they first start, because you'll get so behind that you feel like everything has been duplicated already. Like if I jump in and stream right now, like I'll be 1 out of 1,000 as opposed to.
It's just like people like B. Simone, E. Kane, and light skinned Keisha, and those people like that. They went viral a long time ago off Vine videos and going live on Instagram and Facebook a long time ago, way before like it became a big thing to get monetized off of TikTok or just create content and actually put people in your business. They just used to get in front of the camera and just talk. It's like now it's way more personalized when it comes to creating content or what kind of, what they putting out.
And it almost seems like you really don't even have a choice but to be active and have a high quality social media, because your social media account is damn near your ID. Like, let's be real. Because people ask for your Instagram before they ask for your number.
Yeah. And if you're going to choose, like, media content, entrepreneur, even with me doing hair, I still have to know how to make flyers or put out, make sure the aesthetic of how my social media pages are set up matches with my business and things that I'm doing. So it's like, 100%. It's hard to avoid media creating content at all.
So I have a question. What's the one thing about, like, being a hairstylist that you didn't expect?
I will say, when I first started, it was kind of like, okay, I was mainly doing people hair that I already knew. Yeah. So when I started building my clientele and I had to actually learn how to communicate and deal with people that maybe not used to how I talk, and they may take certain things offensive, or I might take the way that they talk offensive or how they talk to me. So it definitely enhanced my communication skills to where it's like, okay, let me not always jump to having an attitude or jump to being so defensive, or, just like, okay, let me just calm down a little bit and try to understand the other person versus being so defensive.
Right. Okay. What's something that you didn't expect about being a YouTuber?
Something I did not expect, being consistent, Lord Jesus, being consistent is key. And you hear people say that, but when you kind of see their results of people really love coming back for your videos, and, it's like a little community that root for you in your life, you be like, wait a minute, y'all don't even know me, and y'all love me, and y'all, want to see more of me. Yeah. So I was just like, oh, so it's not just me posting stuff to a random YouTube profile. It's really building a community of people that learn stuff from me, which is crazy sometimes.
Right. And do you ever feel, or before you started, did you feel like creating a YouTube and getting into the lane of certain topics of being too vulnerable on there? Were you afraid to kind of open yourself up to criticism from YouTube, through YouTube?
I don't think so. I think because I played sport all my life, like really from t-ball, softball, I'm used to constructive criticism. So it's been a lot of people saying, hey, you should come on camera and be dolled up a little bit more, or even comment about my weight, or me looking in the camera more often and the stuff. Like, I take that and I, thank you.
Exactly.
And keep it pushing, because it's some stuff that I probably can do better. And if you're telling me something about my YouTube channel or even anything I do within my business to better myself, I'm never going to take that a bad way.
Right. Right. I wish it was the same, because sometimes I feel like you could have just kept your opinion. I'm good at taking constructive criticism, mind you. I'm good at taking constructive criticism, but it's a way to say everything, and certain things.
It's like a time and a place.
Clearly, obviously.
I think that's the reason why I always wanted to grow content, because I remember reaching out to you, wanting to do content, have a YouTube and everything, but it's like, oh, somebody gonna say something to me, I'm like,
and I'm gonna snap out.
And I'm gonna have a whole video dedicated to me about why they shouldn't have said nothing to me. But we working on it.
We have to work on it.
It's gonna come, because I still want to. Because like how you were saying, like, you have a small community rooting for you. Like, you have people just like you. Maybe you couldn't shout them out verbatim now, but if you probably would go back into your search history or people that you did look up, you would probably be able to go back into some of them first YouTubers pages and stuff like that. They appreciated you the same way you appreciate your YouTubers. So it's kind of like a good thing when you can inspire somebody that don't even know you.
Right. Right. Okay. So
I love the little smile. It's cute, Steve.
So do y'all feel like do you feel like women can stay in male-dominated industries? Do you think that's healthy for women to occupy male-dominated industries?
Yes, I'm speaking from experience. Right now, I'm in my 9 to 6. My bad, y'all. My 9 to 6 is in. I'm a business development manager for an auto group. So out of the whole, let's say it's 100 men that work in our district, it's about 10 females. Okay.
Yeah.
And so not only me having a higher position within my my job, being a cute female at a dealership is just like. Hey y'all, can you pass me that right now?
I know, right?
Like, I'm always having to play dealership in distress, because they realized I can do things on my own. I'm not gonna get that special treatment anymore, and I don't like that.
Okay, I understand. I do it too.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would say that that's the best dynamic to be in. Like, it's not always comfortable being the woman in a male-dominated industry, even though it's very important that women are represented in those spaces. Being that woman that's deciding to break through the glass ceiling, I don't think I'll choose that no more.
Why
even
not?
though I have, because like, life's stressful enough. I don't want to go to work and have to worry about controlling what other people do or how other people perceive who I am and how
I depend on how beneficial it is, or like what's your passion or the reason
you're
doing it or what you're doing it for. Because if I'm somewhere where I've worked hard to be, or there's something that I actually enjoy doing, and I'm there, like whether it was a group of women or a group of men, you would have to deal with it, because to be honest, you have to deal with working with more women than you do men. A man finding you attractive or treating you like a damsel in distress is the least of your problems dealing with men versus dealing with so many females, the problems that you would have to deal with.
They get bigger.
Yeah, so that's why I said it just kind of depends on why you there. And I feel like even with our jobs, I don't think no one was made to, unless there's something that you dedicated your life to stick with one profession your whole entire life. So I feel like everybody know when it's kind of time for them to leave. So it just kind of depends on, why a woman there, I would think, in their field.
But see, being in the auto industry, I feel like I'm kind of like the secret spy within the dealership, because I'm not gonna let them get over on you, girl. Like, I'm gonna teach you how to count your money, how to work your credit, what it really mean when we need that money and all that stuff. So I'm kind of your inside girl.
Yeah.
So, because sometimes women do feel like men get over on them, definitely in moments like that. Definitely you're not knowledge. So I'm just like, girl, I learned everything, so I can help you. So you don't have to learn anything. You just bring your pretty stuff in, sit down, get some water, and sign this dotted line. Yeah.
That's why I said, so it's kind of beneficial. So I feel like that's something you enjoy doing. Like, if you look at it that way with their perspective, so I feel like, that's as far as dealing with the men won't bother you.
Yeah, and it really depends also, again, on the work environment, because I have had the experience where when I was an insurance adjuster, I would travel for work. So, I mean, I would be traveling by myself already, which is a red flag. And then once I get there, I'm working with a team of men in this very strange area that I absolutely don't know nothing about.
Definitely have to
So
consider
that's a example of where there may not be the best like situation, but otherwise, it's usually cool for me too. I like being the damsel in distress. Actually,
Oh geez, every day I wake up, I'm just ready to be damsel.
Help me.
Please, I need a big strong man. Yes, 100%.
1,000%. And honestly, like, I feel like that helps the work environment too, because like, no, I'm not attracted to you, but yes, you can be an asset to me. Yes, we can have a healthy coworker relationship. So
definitely have to establish boundaries.
So yeah, let's establish.
Everybody understand
exactly. So everybody understands that.
Also, it'd be like, I feel like some females get off their cues that they want to be approached and want to have this other type of relations. Where if I walk in a room, I really don't get too much sidebar from men because they know I don't play like that. Like, we're not even gonna do that. I'm not gonna give you that impression.
Have to establish the boundaries so where people respect. They have to.
Have to.
That's the only way.
Okay. So. In trending news, something that I really wanted us to talk about.
Yeah.
So y'all are aware of the situation with the NFL player Anthony Edwards and his baby mama. Well, his now baby mama. But the situation was, she was his mistress. He got his mistress pregnant, and she decided to keep the child. He doesn't want anything to do with the child, so they went through the whole court deciding on child support, and he went ahead and paid her a lump sum for the full 18 years of that child's life. So how do we feel about that? Like,
honestly, I feel like I can't put the blame just on her because he did tell you he did not want that child. I think he also gave her the money to get rid of said child.
So he was under the impression that she had an abortion, maybe? Was he under the impression that she had an abortion?
I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? I would hate to lie on this man. I would really hate to put words in this man's mouth.
Yes, okay, but that matters. You know, that's something that I kind of would want to factor in and decide who was wrong in that scenario. But overall,
they're both wrong.
They're dead wrong.
They both are dead wrong because one, as a female, you shouldn't be doing anything with a man that you swap. As a man, if you do not want other children by a woman, you need to take other measures, countermeasures. And as a female, why would you want to bring in another life and knowingly know that his dad not gonna be there? That's pretty sad. And I think he got like 5 other children.
Oh Lord.
So your child can't even grow up with his or her, I don't know what the gender is of her baby, with their siblings. And that's just very, very scary. That's terrifying.
Nah, it's worse. It could be a worse scenario. You could also go ahead and have a child and actually the child know that that's his father and that that's his family and they want nothing to do with him. That's not better.
I feel like technically that's probably how this gonna go.
Anyways, right?
Because for someone to pay you 18 years of child support up front,
which is
they
crazy.
Must have wanted no dealings.
They probably would want no dealings at all. But I would say, as far as like his mother or if he had siblings, because we don't know how, maybe you know how other people in his family might feel. I feel like if his immediate family, like his siblings or his mother, would want anything to do with the child, they probably would cause some type of confrontation between him and the female. Because if I just paid off somebody that amount of money, your expectations or you would think that you wouldn't have to deal with them or, at all no more. But I feel like her being a female, most of the time when we do things, we kind of know, like, okay, this could be some of the outcomes or this the kind of things that come from it. Right. So we know what dealing with people and we don't really want to be dealing with them coming from, especially if unprotected or however if a child come about. So I feel like it's both of their fault. It's not a blame. It's not, you can't say it's his fault. You can't say it's her fault.
But at the same time, these things happen in a sequence. It's not like everything happened at once, and it matters because when you start dating this man, you probably at some point, before you got pregnant, were aware that you're his mistress. So if you decide and accept the position as the mistress, doesn't that also come with its own regulations and rules, i.e., you not having my baby and ruining my marriage?
If he ain't tell her that, and now you just don't want the baby, now that she pregnant and you got other kids, it depends. A lot of people just be doing stuff, and then when stuff happens, that's when they want to create expectations and rules, and you want to tell people what you want to do. Like, no, it don't matter. Now we've been doing this. Yeah. So I would feel like that's why I said you can't really blame him or her, because even if that was the case, y'all still continue to see each other. She still choosing to be the mistress. You still choosing to cheat on whoever you doing.
And see, if I was him, I'll have her come over, see her all the time, and I would I would put a small pill down her throat. Each and every time.
You're going to jail.
Wait till she real nice and sleep and just put a shot in her booty, because what do you mean?
What do you mean? But also, I feel like that, was part, it's both their responsibility.
Yeah, that's why I said it's both their fault.
But him knowing that she has more to gain from, things taking their route, it was always his job to protect himself and to not even... First of all, indulge in the relationship.
But on the contrary,
that's the first part.
On the contrary, him giving this woman 18 years of child support to just gone on about her business. Come on now.
Oh,
it's wrong, but it's also wrong for her to.
It's wrong for him to give her the lump sum of money? Question mark?
No. Okay, listen. Okay. It's not the lump sum of money that's a problem. Okay. The issue with that is that you giving her that 18 years worth of money under the assumption that you're not going to have anything to do with this child. So you're guaranteeing that this will be a fatherless child. And you're also committing to not being a part of your own biological child's life. And I think that's where he is making the mistake, because morally, ethically, that's wrong.
Yeah, that is wrong.
And she had, from the very beginning, financial benefits from the relationship, and a child is the ultimate financial benefit if you know that you're dealing with a rich guy. But so it was always his job to protect himself like that, and 100%. And I think that's something that us as the Black community, that I ain't gonna say us because that ain't got nothing to do with me.
All right, them.
I think something that is very popular is the belief that child support is enough to support a child. And I think that that's the bare minimum. That's less than bare minimum, because it shows that you can acknowledge and be a part of this child's life way more than that. And so it's never just financial what a father does for a child. Like,
it's not either, but I feel like as a woman, and I'ma swear I love women, but my opinion right now is like, as a woman, being one of them type of women that go after people because they are rich and you want to keep the baby even after you are the mistress, and you know you not finna be in no type of real serious relationship with this person. All y'all was doing what all y'all was doing. So it's like, you and him, I feel like it's equal still. Like, he's wrong morally and ethically still, so, but her being the woman still, you could have found someone else, but you chose to go for a rich man, so that if you were to get pregnant, you knew that this was going to happen. So it's like, she's still just as wrong as him. She's still just as wrong.
I wouldn't say she's just as wrong.
I put it more on. I think I do put it a little bit more on him.
It's
because
on him.
I mean, if I'm a female and I have a high value, high masculine man in front of me, you think I'm going to turn
that's
it down?
That's life. Like, hey, listen, and that's life. That's game. That's old.
That's different.
Old.
We
that's
don't even.
Old
it's about the type of women that carry themselves like that.
But he knew the type of woman he had.
Yes, and she knew the type of man that he was. That's why it's both of their fault. It's both of their fault. It's both of their fault.
But now that there's a child involved, it's no longer
she
about...
just is wrong for wanting to make her intentions for wanting a baby by him is monetary gain.
It's not about that. Okay, well, men trap women with babies every day. We see that.
And they don't got no money. And the woman still lay beside him knowing he didn't have no money and end up with a baby.
That's on the woman part, though.
Okay, so why isn't it out on her if she knew she was going to get some money out of it?
It is on her.
That's what I'm saying. It's both.
It's on her for the quality of that child life. That's how I see it. So
I feel
her
like they
dating
both went in a
him.
situation with ill intent, and that's why they in the situation
100%.
that they is in now. That's why both of them wrong.
Let's remind y'all, this man has multiple kids, and they not older. They all within like 2 to 3 years, 2 and under, I think. In the last 2 years, he got 4 kids.
So he just being irresponsible with it.
That one singular person.
That's his fault.
He know he doing.
Us too. She see a rich man being irresponsible. Don't care about getting nobody pregnant. I want some money. That's what we finna do. That's ill intent. That's why I said both of them went into the situation wrong with ill intent.
Yeah.
I can see if it was actually a relationship with him, and he was actually treating you as such as you were his girlfriend or something like that more than that.
He had to. There's no way possible I'm finna meet you up. Like I think the woman was pregnant or probably already had the baby at home. And I know exactly what we're doing. We're grown. I know exactly what we're finna do. There's no teeter-totter.
But if he was tricking for it, then they didn't probably have a relationship.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Girl, you know what you was doing.
But at the same time, okay, I understand that. Because if it's tricking, then
that's why
you know not to have that baby.
Even on your own, he shouldn't have to tell you that. If that's what you're doing, come on now.
You trying to trap him. But again, I still kind of go back to the point of like once you make your bed, you gotta lay in it.
100%.
So
we'll say it's both of their fault.
So hopefully at some point he decides to come around to say, I'm going to be a part of my child's life because this is my child regardless of what the situation is with the mom. But I know that a lot of times it's not that simple, and relationships and a lack of relationships can make it hard to co-parent with somebody depending on how sour the situation is, and
especially how theirs turned out.
And now the whole world knows about it.
So there's gonna be a lot to come back from with people knowing the dynamics of what's already going on.
And clearly he's okay with taking the cowardly way out.
And that's why I mentioned. And that's
cowardly. It's cowardly.
I think I mentioned his mom and his sisters at first because I'm like, if anything, it's gonna take a lot for him to be the man to go back and try to be in his.
Okay, let's talk Rashida and Kurt.
Oh. Girl, please.
Eventually, because they are married, and this is different because they're married.
Yes.
Eventually, Rashida had to come around and accept the fact that he is gonna have to take responsibility for his child, and that's fair. That's what a righteous woman would do. That's what a righteous man would do.
And I'm not just saying he's not righteous. Talking about Anthony, I don't think he's not righteous, but if you tell her up front, that's the biggest thing.
And we don't know.
True, we
would
never know.
And we would never know the real dynamics of the relationship because, for example, the baby and Danny Lee was in a whole relationship, and when stuff hit the fan, the baby made it seem like she was just a groupie. And now you want to say that this ain't your baby.
9 times 10, that's what they're going to do anyway.
And they're going to do that anyways. That's what I'm saying. So the world will never know the truth of the dynamics of the relationship.
And that's why I was saying in the other girl's situation, you being a woman carrying yourself like that or choosing to still go after men like that, like you already know what they going to say about you or how they going what bucket they going to put you in or how they going to judge you. So keeping a man, baby, that's telling you they don't want it and you still like, you kind of already know what you're preparing yourself for, so it's kind of like ill intent. That's all I was saying about them being wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
But as far as Rashida and Kirk, love and hip hop been on since we've been like, 12, 13, 15 years old?
A long time, Lord.
Yeah.
Rashida doing what she want to do. She don't want to be nobody but Kirk.
She ain't fooling me.
Oh, well. And I think that's what it is. She just kind of like, oh, well, at this point.
Right.
And that's also another thing I wanted to say, like, I think in this conversation we kind of treat the idea of abortion like it's something casual, like it's just a casual experience for women to have when it's not as simple. I feel like it's for her to keep the child. I feel like, there could have been a conscious decision that she made regardless of what type of backlash she might have been deciding not to have an abortion. I don't know. I honestly don't even think it matters because if she decided that she don't want to get rid of the child, people have broke people baby all the time.
Yeah,
and it has nothing to do with money.
But you also know how to, if being my mama was a woman who let my daddy choose on whether he wanted to do. She didn't force him or she went down his neck making him do anything. Yeah. So if you are going to choose to have someone's baby who don't want it or to already express some type of concern or some type of emotional where you might have to be doing this on your own, you do have to prepare yourself to do it on your own, meaning you can't keep bothering somebody that did already told you to leave me alone with this, or I ain't gonna be there as you want me to be, or I ain't gonna do that. So it's hard to accept. It's a very, very hard thing to accept, but also being a woman dealing with people, you don't just wake up and have a baby with somebody.
You don't. And I really feel like it's this society. Yeah. Our society definitely
we don't pay
nowadays,
attention to the people that we with.
Oh, Lord.
Because you probably would have been picked up on so many other traits that would have let you know that I don't even need to be laying down with these persons to even have a baby, make a baby with them. Yeah,
because I mean, at this time and age, we find that a lot of people think it's very, very normal to lay down and do whatever with anybody, and like just dating culture in a nutshell, it's very weird. Thank you, honey.
Yeah. And abortions are normal, and that's weird. Yeah, I think it's weird that abortions are as normal as they are. Because a lot of times, I think that incentivizes people to be irresponsible about how they carry themselves sexually.
It kind of makes it feel like it's okay.
Because you got a safety net. I don't have to keep a child.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's not okay.
And that's not okay. That's not okay. At least not for the masses. Like, every situation don't call for that to be an option.
And I feel like it correlates, though. Mm-hmm. The fact that abortion is so normalized is how our dating culture is set up. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, you had to have a man to provide for you, and you know the goal was to get married. We had a very, very strong urge to, hey, at this age, you need to be married with kids, your husband taking care of you. But nowadays, females, we have more rights. We can do things on our own. We don't need a man.
I was just saying, our lives are more independent now, so it's kind of like, with the independence, we get the independence to choose a lot of more things. So it's kind of like, if I don't want to have a baby, I get to decide on if I want to do that or not, regardless of the man's situation or not. Because a lot of women used to couldn't even talk without,
And Trump about to take us back.
Do you hear me? He trying to. I don't like no mess like that.
Look, so we're going to go ahead and get as many episodes as we can. But I definitely think, the way abortions have been so accessible for so long has been a part of why the dating culture looks the way that it does. Mm-hmm. And it's just a cycle that kind of feeds itself. So in my mature stage, I do think that a more traditional relationship is what's best, honestly, because, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's a reason why people have been deciding, if we women should have one man. Like, it's a reason why it works like that. Because, first of all, you ain't gonna know who your baby daddy is if you talking to too many, if you entertaining too many.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah,
secondly, a man ain't gonna want to take care of you if he know you entertaining too many. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thirdly, are you gonna raise that child by yourself if you don't know which one who gonna be the dad? Like, that's gonna be public information however you look at it, because if you tell this man that you don't know if he the daddy or not, he gonna tell somebody else and they gonna tell somebody else. So you better be careful where you putting it.
Definitely.
Not for real. You gotta stop being promiscuous. Definitely for young people, we get so hyped of just, oh, I'm so cute, oh, look at this, look at that. But a man can't even buy you a McDonald's burger on the way to your house. Let's be for serious for a second. Let's get it together. Have some decorum.
Like, let's take it back to the day. Like, bring my daddy a sheep and a goat if you want to talk to me, bro.
I just told my dad about that.
Bringing up that, though, that also opens the conversation for so many men not being able to even be in relationships. Like, they not even able
equipped.
They not even prepared to do what it is that they want to do in a relationship, but they want to be in one.
But you want to be in one, like...
Or you want a home-cooked meal. You want somebody to wash your
drawers.
No, I can't even ask you for $20 for you lashing out on me. God. What are we talking about?
God, and that's why everybody don't deserve none.
But they're not ready to hear that, though. They're not ready to hear it.
Lack thereof. If we look at it now, it's so many things that were lost and not taught. Yeah. So, like, it's things that our parents weren't taught, so therefore we weren't taught. So, if you don't know to go out and learn things on your own, or to develop your own character, or have your own sense of self, like common sense on your own, you will fail. You will lack a whole lot of things, especially if you come from a family that all of those things are going on. Like, believe it or not, we all know some type of family that has some type of situation where the uncle probably has a baby by the auntie, the cousin, or somebody, or a friend, or something like that where it's intertwined. Kids grow up and see certain things like that. So the next couple of years, maybe 10, 12 years, another situation like that might pop up or something like that. So it's kind of like generational. If nobody's never taught to break those cycles, or this is not how this is supposed to go, I think that's why it is the way it is now in our generation, because so many young people have had so many kids. So it's like you got 25-year-olds that's got probably 10 kids already. Yeah. How are you teaching?
It's like
how are you teaching, and how are you able to teach all of them how to carry themselves or life skills or anything like that? Because it's so many.
And it do be generational curses. Yeah. But it's definitely a point in your life where you have to come to some type of sense. I don't know if it's coming. All right,
but a lot of people parents don't have that, so it's kind of
and as a culture, I feel like I'm gonna say specifically before women were bitches, men were dogs. Alright. And I strongly feel like women, in my experience, we don't have that hierarchy where there's somebody in your family that you know who is comfortable speaking about relationships to you at a young age, or were we able to speak about relationships in a context that's not involving a problem.
You learning from what you see.
You learning from them other people's mistakes instead of being able to see and glorify and analyze the things that are successful. And I think a perfect example of that is the way that a lot of people, particularly people uncles, will influence like boys to
carry themselves a certain way.
Don't cry like that.
And also to be hypersexual and to associate a part of their value is how many women they can get, or the type of women that they attract, and how bad you can dog them and they still come around. Like that, I didn't realize until, maturity, like how common that is, and how as a woman you find yourself in a position where you're seeing that men been trained to dog you. Men have been trained to dog you. They know exactly how to have you just like this. But
and somebody forgot to train them how to treat you too, though.
Yeah, but it's harder for women to find that type of mentorship in that arena of life. And I wonder, is that because of women going through and not having the knowledge themselves, or is it jealousy and older women not even want to pass down the game? Like why y'all think that is?
Because honestly, I feel like the generation that should be teaching us, they are the ones that has been dogged out and all that stuff. So it's kind of hard to listen to somebody, because we probably look at them like, oh, I don't want to listen to you. You got 3 baby daddies. You got 3 husbands.
It's delivery. It's how. It's how. Because I've met some people who can teach you because they learn from their mistakes.
Yeah.
Versus a person coming at you speaking like they didn't make any mistakes.
Thank you.
So that's the difference. It's how and it's delivery.
And the people who act like they never went through it.
Yeah.
Or who act like they never made a mistake.
Or people who have went through certain things and they just not real with themselves. So like how she was saying, they embarrassed or they might not want to tell you. So I think it's just how. It's the delivery. It's definitely the delivery for me. Because I listen to a person who maybe made some mistakes back then. Because I have made mistakes on my own. So I know when I have kids or people younger than me, I would want to be honest and truthful with them and be real with them. I think a lot of people, for us, they left out the bad part.
Right.
They kind of just tried to kind of groom us into thinking, oh, just do this, oh, just do that, or just do this. And you left out all this other stuff that come with this when we trying to do all this, the other stuff that you got to be prepared for.
I understand. That's why I feel like it does take that generation to want to teach us, but also us being willing to hear what they have to say and apply the principles, whether that be, hey, I didn't do anything right in my last 3 marriages, but this is what I'm going to tell you not to do. And us being okay and open to be like, okay, I'm going to take this in, I'm going to apply this to my relationship. Not your wins, but also your failures.
Right. And I just want, to use this opportunity to say, if you're watching this and you're hearing this, like, don't feel like you have to go through those struggles in order to learn. Like, you don't have to deal with a bad relationship. You don't have to deal with negative experiences for too long. Like, you can say, I don't think that if you continue acting like this, that's going to be healthy for us in the long run. Like, based off this one experience, I can say that your reactions and the way that you respond to me is not something that's healthy. So we're going to have to
And actually stand on it, having that knowledge and having that power to say, hey, I don't like this, I'm not going to stand for this, but also doing the work to leave when it's time to leave.
I was just about to say, everybody don't know how to do that. Even if you know you're supposed to leave. No, definitely not.
Not even the second either.
Mm-hmm. And even people who've been married for eons, like, somebody done cheated.
Hopefully not.
And even if it wasn't cheating, it could have been
most of the time.
It could have been something, that they just both needed to work on, or just as far as communication, or just not listening to each other, or something like that. Nothing is perfect, basically. So like you're gonna have to deal with something with every person. So like if you're just a person that's incapable of, I would say, compromising or listening to other people, or even just be willing, you'll have a problem with everybody that you talk to, or everybody that you deal with.
Right. And that's why I am now, like, I'm such a fan of traditional relationships. Like, yes, just go get married and do right by your husband and your wife. Just keep it simple.
I'm okay with arranged marriage at this point. Like,
exactly. Like, you could have brought my daddy a couple goats and cows. I still stand on it. Like, and we would have been riding in the sunset.
I need to see what you could do first.
It just depends on what you're married for. Are you married for love or money and all that?
Yeah, that's why I need to see what you could do first.
I love the money. I love you too.
I need you to be able to take care of us.
I need you to be able to take care of me for real though. Like, let's be honest. Like,
I would do all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the
but I'm also not about to stay with you for the rest of my life just because we got good vibes. Like, no, it's gonna take more than that. And I also have another topic that I want us to discuss, and we kind of running into our time frame.
Okay.
So you guys are aware that the Trump administration imposed tariffs, which is basically taxes on imported goods, especially from China. And in response to that, China decided to leak information to manufacturers for a lot of high-end luxury brands that Americans consider high-end luxury brands. And they exposed the fact that these handbags were made in China, the same as mostly everything else that y'all have, sent to another country, and then sold to you from that country for, an upcharge of a couple thousand, hundreds of dollars. And so I feel like that really put a ripple in a lot of people's stomach because
they going crazy.
They going
TikTok
crazy
right now. I'm dropping the link. Oh my God.
But I think that it just goes to show, like, so much of what we see is just an illusion. Like, they marketing it to you like this is the butterflies and roses when this is the same thing that they selling over there at Walmart. Yeah. But people been killing each other over this material for decades. Like, and how as people was material how did it ever even get to that point of material being so important in the first place?
Yeah, because I think what I heard from one of them, he was saying that it is hard to get like leather or like real leather, real animal byproducts, and so if it's only a certain amount, and I know I'm gonna make a lot of money on my end, you gonna have to find you a new animal to kill. I'm so sorry, you have to.
I think that's as far as like with the people, with the purses and the clothes and all of that things too, like with the furniture and everything. I think since like when major clothing websites like Fashion Nova, people like JKY and all those people started coming out with links to boutiques and stuff like that, it wasn't long before even other people was able to go on AliExpress and find the actual website, find the exact same thing that the celebrities and everybody else texting and charging high price for. So it's kind of like, I think it was bound to happen anyway. I think Trump just kind of sped up the process because people bootleg, we familiar with bootleg or buying stuff. I was like, this stuff been going on for I don't know how long. So it's like, it's only, even with hair, like even with food, with our products and things like that, like most Jordan of this stuff all come from like the same place. They just put a different brand name on it. It be the same thing.
But is it really the material or is it the name that you have on your body to really make the difference? Because if I have some $5 pants on, these just some regular $5 pants, but if I go get something that say Louis Vuitton on it, now my economic status, now I seem more just have more money and all that stuff. So sometimes it's really not about that material.
All they did was just stitch the Louis V thing on there. It could have been the same thing.
And that's what it is. You have to create a brand that people want to pay that amount of money. So it's kind of upsetting for me on a business perspective because I'm just like, these people work hard. Like, even though they paying these people $5 across seas and selling for $5,000,
you definitely work hard for quality, or you definitely work hard to find things of quality to build with quality. But also too, I think we all know when somebody got quality and when they just overpriced it, overtaxed it too.
But we don't though. Because I mean, the same bags that they be selling outside of Roses is the same bags that they selling for $12,000, and people will judge and say, talk about, girl, that bag fake, that bag crack, and we can see, this flaw, that flaw, pointing out flaws in the bag. Whole time, this is the same bag, like, and you gonna big yourself up by judging the next person on something. Whole time, it wasn't even that. That was just selling you a dream. Now you the victim.
Like when them Birkin bags at Walmart, I would love to go get me a little Birkin from Wally World. Y'all listen,
I grew up thinking Steve Madden was something. Steve Madden is at Walmart. Bruh, I thought True Religion was something. True Religion is at Ross. Like, for real. Like, the same way the small business owners trying to push what they doing, the major ones, they doing the exact same thing and they getting off.
Yeah. But it's that's
why I think it just depends on the person. It depends on the market and the person and what matters to you.
So I'm marketing everything I sell like it's bougie.
There we go.
Jada, you ain't wrong for selling them $70 cluster lash.
No, you need to be stopped, honestly, girl. Please. What do you mean $70?
Like I said, what her mean?
Okay, y'all. Okay, so we kind of getting to a point of wrapping up. So I have a question, like, if you had to describe or name this chapter of your story, what would it be? How would you describe this chapter?
I would say rebranded from experience. I got some hot shit coming soon. They got me mixed up.
Yeah.
Period.
Let them know where can they follow you at to, get a hold to some hot shit.
Facebook, Taylor Monroe, and my Instagram.
Oh Lord.
I know it, but I don't know how. I don't want to tell y'all the wrong amount of periods.
So we're gonna go back and do an actual, all of us just go through it, so it'll be a flow split.
Okay.
That's fine. So, what would you name this chapter in your book?
Right now, just off the top of my head, is the end of an era. I just restarted my YouTube channel. I got a new business that's coming out soon, and so just all of that, I'm just like that last era. It was cool. It was cute. But this new one, yeah, it's gonna be legendary, 100%.
Yeah, legendary. If I had to name this chapter in my book, I think it would be like, I don't know, blossoming. I believe that this is just a season where I'm able to kind of see a little more clear how a lot of the things that I have been doing in my life up to this point is kind of coming into fruition and blossoming for me. So, yeah, I would call this that. And otherwise, I think when I look back on this chapter in my life, I hope that I say, girl, I'm so glad you kept on trying to do that, because had you not, like, we would not be here and over here with these couple 100,000, a couple million in the bank.
Like, we billionaires in the making.
Billionaires in the making.
What
like,
you mean?
This might be one of them. So
lock in soon.
Lock in
now.
Get in with me. Get in with me, like D-Lo said. Don't miss your opportunity. I stamp it. I'm so serious.
As you should.
Don't miss this train. We leaving the station, baby. We ain't coming back.
No wraparound.
Ain't no wraparound. Okay, so thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of Uncoded TV with me. Those of y'all who haven't, please follow on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Instagram at Uncoded TV. Go ahead and give them a shout out to how they can find you, Jordan.
So you can find me on Instagram at Jordan Yarb, JORDYAN YARBS, and on YouTube at JKY Vlogs, VLOGS.
And I got my Instagram name for y'all now. It's just Taylor. It's TAY.LAA with 2 underscores at the end. Make sure y'all let me do y'all hair. Book an appointment when you go there.
Yeah,
girl.
book it. Yeah, okay. So I'm also gonna, put y'all write it on the screen, so
Okay.
they'll be able to see it. And in that case, everybody lean in and say hey.
Thank y'all for watching.
And make sure y'all come back.
Oh wait, can we say subscribe to Uncoded TV together? Can y'all think we can say that together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can. You gonna give us a little 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
And go to TV.
yeah. We're gonna say subscribe to Uncoded TV.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Subscribe to Uncoded TV.